making sure those that need help get help. That's the goal of legislation targeting home heating and energy programs. Let's spend 5 minutes on the subject with the prime sponsor of this bill, Representative Bryan Cutler of Lancaster County. First of all, there are 2 state programs that are designed to help people heat their homes in the winter and also just make them a little more energy efficient. Can you talk about those 2 programs and what they do?
Sure. There's 2 programs that are primarily funded with federal dollars. They're the LIHEAP, which is the Low Income Heating and Energy Assistance Program, and the Weatherization Program. The LIHEAP one actually provides cash grants for individuals who need fuel oil and other forms of heat. The Weatherization Program is actually more of a long-term fix where they would go in, provide you with new windows, new doors, energy-efficient appliances, and things like that. They're both very well-intentioned programs, but unfortunately they're being abused.
And I guess they have income levels attached to them and requirements?
They do. And most of those, we set those at the state level, and when you go to your county assistance office, you can find out whether or not you qualify for them.
Okay. Well, speaking of the abuse, Auditor General Jack Wagner did uncover some problems with it. Can you talk about a few of the things that he brought out that he found?
Sure. He did 2 great audits, one of each system, back in 2007. The audits caught my attention, and we held a policy hearing at that time on the LIHEAP one. And we immediately began developing some legislation and introduced it later that fall. And for example, he uncovered individuals who were using Social Security numbers of deceased individuals. He found individuals who were double dipping and claiming the same dependents. 2 people would cohabitate in a home, and they would each come in and apply and qualify for a cash grant based on the number of dependents they had, when in fact they were both claiming the same dependents. And there was a whole host of other problems. There was no administrative oversight, no standardization of forms. There was information that was being collected that was Social Security numbers and income levels that was just being written on tablets, and there was no easy way to recall it, and most importantly, there was no way to double check it. If I said that I qualified essentially on an income level, they believed it.
And then the same was found in the weatherization
Absolutely.
as well? Okay. How would your legislation solve the problems that he found?
Well, we start by cross-referencing all the data. The ironic part is the state already collects most of this data. We collect the income on your income taxes when you file it, or whether or not you file for other state assistance programs. So we're looking to streamline the application process. We're looking to standardize it so that that way, hopefully, it can't be cheated. Additionally, we would look at keeping track of these individuals. And Auditor General Jack Wagner, in a hearing last session, actually had a very good idea, and that is, if your home's weatherized, in theory, it should be more efficient. So we're also looking at possibly a way to include that we would prorate the amount of the grant that you get and then give you, let's say, 10% or 20% less, so we could use that money to help other people who need it.
And how would reforming the program help those who need the assistance? I mean, I would think it would just put the dollars where it's more needed.
Yes. Unfortunately, there's plenty of individuals who would otherwise qualify for this program, and they're not getting the assistance because the need far outstrips the amount of money that we have. So all we're really looking to do is prioritize those individuals who truly need it to make sure that they get it, and we root the fraud out of the system.
And where at this point is the bill in the legislative process?
We're still in draft form. We're working with the Auditor General's office as well as the Governor's office. I had several meetings that have been very productive, and we're trying to figure out exactly what cross-references and what checks we want to put in place. And ironically, we ran across a last-minute problem that deals with some of the verification systems, so we're going to have to try to figure out which department can legally handle it. And at this point, it does look like it would still be the Department of Public Welfare. And
then just again to summarize the goal of the legislation?
The goal is very simple. We want to make sure that people who need it actually are getting it. Right now, there's individuals who unfortunately not only don't deserve it, but they're essentially stealing from those who do.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If you have any questions or comments on this topic, the contact information for Representative Cutler will be shown in just a moment. I'm Laurie Bull. Thanks for spending 5 minutes with State Representative Bryan Cutler.